Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Commonwealth of United Stars. We are starting off again here. We are in year 6, October 8th, 2106, in our Aurora game. We have begun rapid expansion into the galaxy, exploring 18 systems in 6 years. We have 7 survey vessels and we are continuing to do so. Aliens have been discovered. Our friends over here, the Cygni aliens, unfortunately, we did not have to worry about them too much as we destroyed them. They did manage to destroy a couple of vessels, and now we are planning our defense accordingly. Now, if you want to see more content like this, this is a niche game. The more engagement, the more comments, the more suggestions for planet names and stuff like that, put it in the description below. Also, if you're interested in me covering a disaster save or a save file of yours where you fuck up or there's some kind of problem, then put that in the comments below if you're interested, and then we can get in contact and I can do that. You can also join my Discord as well and reach me there. So, I have to come clean about some of the interesting information regarding our defensive situation. The mines have one crucial flaw. Once they detonate, they will be out of active sensors and they likely will just disappear. Because of this, I'm not sure if they will work correctly, and I think we're going to need some sensor platforms while redesigning potentially our mines. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. The second thing in this episode is I'm going to hope to finish off a more solidified colonization of Cygni while exploring and colonizing outwards towards EQ Pegasi, Tau Ceti, 61 Hydra, EZU Aquarii, Greenbridge 34. And also beginning to harvest fuel in HH Andromedae. All of this will require military presence, and this will require proper ships to be able to defend the local areas. And we will need to invest in more stuff to be able to do that. So, because of the new threat, I'm going to order up 3 new destroyers, though I am going to make sure that they're on a proper naming scheme. So, HMS. And then we're going to put the RMN naming scheme in. As theme RMN. There we go. Select from random. And then we are going to get the Bellerophon, the Edward Saganami, and the Turbulent building forward. And we're going to need those to continue. We did finish up minimum powered research. We need to begin researching into better jump drives. And we're going to continue to do 1-day increments here. We are currently in the process of having Manticore set up here to support everything that we need. We need to go out 2,000 infrastructure, and then once that's done, we're going to start setting over some maintenance facilities as well as refueling stations, and this is to protect our fuel harvesters in the second star of Alpha Centauri, the system. So we're going to keep doing 1-day increments here, and seeing what we can do. What just happened? Something big just happened there, I think I saw. No, that were just captains being promoted to new different vessels. We also discovered a new jump point, of course. We discovered a new jump point in Greenbridge. And all our survey vessels are making some very, very good progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to design a platform, an orbital weapon platform, that we are going to be able to just build with fighters, transport with escort carriers, and then deploy them at areas. So I'm going to call this an orbital defense monitor, because it's going to be monitoring the traffic coming in, and it's going to be shooting at things that are a problem. So very, very small. We're going to give it a let's give it a 20-year life. So 240 months. And we're going to then give it a carronade, which is, we've got a 30 centimeter grazer, but that's a bit big. Carronades are very good at short range in terms of damage, in terms of capability, so that's why I'm going to be going for carronades. So plasma carronade. What about like a 20 centimeter carronade? We don't really need anything else besides maintenance supplies. We could actually potentially fit that. No, we can't, because we need all the extra crew quarters for that weapon. So we're going to go for a size 20 carronade. That gives 100,000 max range, 160,000 here. That gives us 300 tons. Let's go for a prototype onto that 20 centimeter carronade. Prototypes. There we go. We're going to need a power plant to be able to charge. We already have a power plant. And then we're going to need a beam fire control and then maintenance supplies, of course. So, beam fire control, we're going to go for the biggest thing. I think we already have a single weapon beam fire control that we can use. There we go. Though that is a little bit big. A little bit too big for my needs. So, yeah, this will be a 20-year maintenance life. Let me give it... We need to give it an active sensor, that's for sure. We have a 5-ton res 10 active sensor, so we'll do that. Let's give it some engineering spaces. So we're going to go for a fighter engineering space. And then we're going to give... We don't really need engineering spaces on these kind of ships because they have such low IFRs anyway. But 5 tons is probably going to be a good idea. And then we will add in a tiny maintenance storage bay. That's 16 years. So I think we're going to need a smaller carronade here. So we're going to go for another plasma carronade. We want 15 centimeters. So a very small carronade. Very high rate of fire. But if we have like 30 platforms sitting behind a jump point, then it's not really going to be an issue in terms of damage. And they'll be at such short range that they'll be able to gain the maximum effect of what they can actually achieve. And then we're going to give it the current best possible beam fire control. Though, again, that is pretty ridiculous in terms of what we have. This is a 60,000 kilometer max range on the carronades. That might be a bit too short range, but we are going to need to obviously we're going to go 2x, or we'll go 3x on that. We'll go single weapon fire control, and then we will go prototype because we do not need to do anything higher because we are using our base fire control. Like, we're not using our ship speed at all, so that's not an issue for us at all, whatsoever. So we're going to go for that. Can we fit on here a larger carronade? No. So we can't fit the 20 centimeter. We can fit the 15 centimeter. So we're going to fit a 15 centimeter carronade on here. It gives us 20 years total. We could even give this like a tiny little engine so it can like move to designated areas on its own. That potentially has some merit for us. That we want to consider. These are very cheap, and anything that transits through a jump point that doesn't squadron jump is going to get absolutely obliterated, I think. If we got enough of them, that is. If we don't have enough of them, it's going to be a bit of a problem. We could add in ECM, but we don't have, the sizing doesn't really work for that. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a tiny little engine, okay? Tiny little engine. Like a 50%. We can go for like a size. Nah, probably can't. It probably wouldn't work. We can give it a lot more deployment life. Legitimately give it like 306, like what is that? That's 30 years of deployment life, and then we just give it more maintenance bays. Yeah, so these things can literally sit there forever. We can also put, while we're at it, we can't put any thermal that we have currently. Do we have anything else? No, not really. I would have liked to put like a Res 1 sensor on it, but I don't really think we're going to be able to do that. And so we're going to go and say that that is enough. We'll do 465 tons. We need to prototype that design. Not prototype. We need to research the prototype for all the designs, beam fire control, whatnot. And we are going to order for that to be done. So that will be lasers, so carronades. Going to stop our energy weapon research for now. We're going to go for the carronade research right there. And then we're also going to need, what else? Sensor? Or beam fire control. Yeah, beam fire control. We do have a scientist for that, so I'm going to remove some labs over here, and I'm going to get them researching onto that beam fire control for us. And then we can start mass producing them and selling them around. And they'll last 30 years, which is more than enough time, realistically speaking, for any kind of needs. So we just finished up stabilization station Andromedae. That's perfect. I'm going to order our tug to bring that jump stabilization station home. Because if we leave it out there, there's always a chance that raiders will destroy it. But with that now realization, I need to look at HH Andromedae and kind of understand the best way to do our colonization efforts. So we have a look over here. We have only a gas giant here. So we will need some kind of probably orbital defense platform. Yeah, orbital defenses around the gas giant, or mines. So that is going to be a consideration I'll have to be thinking about. So that might be a first deployment for some kind of orbital defense station capability. Again, we'll be moving them within the carriers themselves. But yeah, we're now on the 7th year. We've moved that back. Regimental headquarters trained on Griffin. We're now in... How's 61 Hydra doing at the moment? Or 61 Cygni, my bad. Should be doing okay. Do want to make sure that 61 Cygni doesn't have any problems in terms of... No, I don't think it does. How is the colony coming along? Okay, colonies are coming along as needed. We've got Manticore also coming along pretty significantly, and we should have that done, relatively speaking, soon. So, there we go. A bunch of garrison battalions just finished up training. We're going to be needing quite a few of those, realistically speaking. HMS Vigilance, the 3rd ever survey ship, can now go and transit through a jump point to see what is in that system. We found a system of Kruger 60. It has effectively nothing, just 2 binary stars in the system. I also want to start building some shipyards here, but we are kind of in the process of building a lot of things at the moment. Stockpiles are doing okay, and we haven't really gotten any mining up yet. I would like to start mining on Cygni B4, and I would also like to start mining on San Martin, both of which will provide us with quite a few minerals. And then if we have a look within the system of 61 Cygni, we have various accessibilities. So we have Nova has a bunch of uranium on it. Nova Moon 2 has a bunch of Saurium, Iridium. Meridian has access to a bunch of uranium, which is the place that we're actually wanting to mine that from. So we'll obviously have to wait on that. We're continuing to build up those fuel harvesting stations, and we're also building a lot more mines. We currently have 909 mines, but I do probably want to move those automated mines somewhere else. If I look at Alpha Centauri, what do we have in terms? We don't have anything, of course. So where would I want to move these automated mines to then transfer the necessary resources? Nova Moon 2 is a low gas, is like this, but it has a lot of Saurium deposits. We could then refine the fuel on San Martin. We can also obviously get that Iridium. Nova has a bunch of uranium we can get a hold of, but that's about it. So, is there any other places those automated mines would be a better use of? If we have a look at Easy Aquari, we see tritanium, uranium, a bunch of stuff there. So definitely this world. In terms of Easy Aquari, how easy is Easy Aquari in terms of getting to the specified places? Okay, relatively easy. It's a trinary star system, of course. The jump point is pretty far away, unfortunately, here. What are you doing? HMS Seeker? What? Oh, I know why. Because it's... No, yeah. HMS Seeker. Survey next site isn't place. When we exceed we shall resupply. Let's go actual survey here. Where is our jump stabilization station? So if we go to 61 Hydra... Yeah, you're stabilizing there. Okay, so we'll have to wait a little bit on that. Okay, just attack 2, speak of the devil, and then we are going to begin stabilization in to Easy Aquari. And then we can begin the colonization efforts. And Easy Aquari does have some bodies here. which we can put up, obviously, some kind of, yeah, this body in particular, we can put up a base there. I'm not saying that that'll be a very useful world, but it will definitely be able to hold some kind of military base, and that is explicitly what I am after. We do need to start growing, though, our situation here. So I've got 2 sets of colonists, colony groups of 4 ships, and we can support a population of 1.81 million. So we're going to load colonists, take them over to Cygni, unload them on San Martin, back to Griffin, refuel. Okay, and we are going to do this 200,000. So 10 million divided by 200,000. And is 50. So, I could have done that anyway. So, we are going to order that to be done 24 times. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We are going to have you auto route over, unload colonists, head back to Alpha Centauri, refuel, and then you're going to cycle that 24 times. So that'll take 2,500 days to get 10 million people to San Martin. We will need to obviously supply San Martin with the necessary infrastructure. You are loading maintenance facilities, and then unloading them on Manticore. Or what was Manticore, I think. Oh, no, you're doing it on the other one, aren't you? You are loading infrastructure from Griffin, and then you are unloading that on Cygni B4. On this world, you're unloading infrastructure on this world. Do I have anyone unloading infrastructure on you? I presume you are doing it. Go to Griffin. No, go to Cygni for me, and then we're going to have you redo it. I just want to make sure that this is actually happening as I expect it to. Yeah, Fire Squadron complete orders. We're going to send you back to Alpha Centauri, send you back to Griffin. And again, we're trying to grow these colonies as much as we can, ideally speaking. Once we have enough maintenance supplies there, that would allow us to begin sending over some proper defensive capabilities. New shipping line was created, a new garrison battalion was trained. Does that mean that we have a new set of garrison forces ready to go? It does look like that. So I'm going to just set that up accordingly. We do need to put in the garrison fire support battalions. So I'm just going to make sure we clear the hierarchy off here because I did this wrong. Clear hierarchy, and then we're going to add in garrison support. We don't have any garrison support for formations yet, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for those to finish up. Production of refueling stations completed at Griffin. Fantastic news. Do I have any freighters available to take that? Yes, I do. So that will be 250,000 tons, as far as I understand. So we're going to load that, take that over to Manticore, and refuel, and then we're going to do that 4 times total. That will move over the refueling systems that we'll be needing. We have 3 support battalions just finished up training, so we're going to put that over there, and then we're going to bring these into the 5th Garrison Division. So that is the 5th Garrison Division. I'm going to have that Garrison Division be moved so that we will have, go to load, go to over here, the 5th Garrison Division. Yes, I'm loading sub, correct. Go to Cygni, and we're going to unload that onto this colony to protect that. And that will mean that we will then have 200,000 tons of forces defending both colonies. And that's 2 divisions that can act in their defense. And also planetary protection, of course, a value that will be provided. First squadron completed orders is orbiting Griffin, so this is going to be for our infrastructure. So I want you to load up infrastructure, take over to Cygni, take over to San Martin, and then unload that accordingly. Then take that back to Alpha Centauri and refuel. Cycle those move orders for me, please, as we want to grow that colony. First squadron has also completed orders. Was this for the refueling station on Manticore? Yes, it was. So we're going to set up a fuel. We're going to set up some fuel to be moved over. Let me go grab one of our tankers. Yarathusa. Go transfer fuel over to the colony, then move back to Griffin, and I'm going to set you up to kind of refuel colonies periodically as needed. In terms of supply squadron, let's do you have a total of 10,000 supplies? How many supplies do we have on San Martin? 10,000. Okay. Let's assume 20. Let's say every 3 years. Okay. So we're gonna say you're going to first off resupply from the colony. Garrison Division trained on Earth. Okay, we resupplied. We're gonna have you every 93 every 4 years, basically, or 1,000 days ish. You're gonna go over and you're gonna transfer maintenance supplies, head back to Alpha Centauri, and then resupply and refuel. And then you're gonna cycle those move orders. So basically, every 1,100 days, we will transfer 10,000 maintenance supplies to the colony of San Martin, and that will allow it to continue its maintenance in terms of its facilities. We also now have fuel on Manticore, which is fantastic. We're going to want to get this. We're going to want to get maintenance supplies as well moved over to this, so that we can begin to support maintenance facilities. So, but we are waiting for the population. I think we're done. Yes, we are done. So I'm going to demand now 20 maintenance facilities, and I'm going to supply that over here. 20 maintenance facilities. Get the civilians to move it. I really want to get our civilian economy going. Right now, our civilians are not too great. It's only been this year. So we did just get a new line, and they've got some wealth. So hopefully they'll start buying some ships. But we've got this one, which is 250,000 tons. We've got 5 freighters and 3 small cargo ships. You can see what they're transporting. For example, they're moving spices from Sphinx to Griffin, or colonists, or chemicals, and all sorts of supplies back and forth between the colonies. There goes our research into our sensor and fire control. Let's continue research into new attack in terms of beam fire control range would be a good idea. Yeah, we've got those 3 destroyers on the way. I would like to have another Lysander on the way, but I'm going to obviously need to sort its naming scheme out. So I will do that. HMS, and then select RMN. Last theme, RMN. And we are going to then get the Hadrian built. And that'll be able to lead that squadron of destroyers we have on the way. Mineral shortage on Manticore, so we're going to need to make sure we stop that. We also want to probably assign a governor. There we go. Make sure that we do have auto assignments on here, and I think mining is going to be the main thing. I want. Do you have minerals? Yes, you do. So we want to have mining as the primary bonus. Mining and production. You're from the University of Griffin. We can also begin to diversify where we put our military academies. Manticore might be one of those where we station some additional military academies on the world, even the naval headquarters. Kind of a bit of RP of that's kind of our naval base in the system. Discovered a new jump point, and we are obviously continuing to set up maintenance facilities. We've got 20 of them now on. I'm going to order then for Supply Squadron 2 to begin resupplying. Oh, you've got everything. Move that over to Manticore and refuel. We're going to need more of these supply vessels. So I'm going to order up 1 to be built. Infrastructure completed at Griffin. All the transfer stations now being built. I'm going to begin building another 4,000 infrastructure as soon as we can here. Because we are going to need it for all the colonization efforts that we are currently underway with. San Martin now reaches 1.54 million people. I'm going to order for, if we go over to 61 Cygni, I'm going to order the convoy escort Hephaestus to move off. It's done its job. We're going to send it back to Alpha Centauri, and we're going to send it to go and overhaul. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over with a tug a platform, the Covington class platform, okay? And we should have spare fighters. We not. I guess we do not. We don't have any spare fighters right now. However, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach the this frigate squadron. Frigate squadron 2. Okay, well, no, I'm going to keep it there for now, but we'll redirect it. We're going to create the new admin command. Patrol, yeah, patrol. I'm going to call it San Martin Planetary Forces. Then under that, we're going to move over. We're going to create the 3rd cruiser flotilla. Or frigates flotilla, my bad, frigate. And then going to dispatch this under that. So frigate squadron 2, you are in terms of sizing, you're 15,000 tons. You're going to stick John Signey. You're going to go to San Martin Colony, and you'll act as defense. Furthermore, because we realize we do need some more fighters, I'm going to order up 30 new fighters to be built. Get those underway immediately. But no, those frigates will be taking over the responsibility of protecting the colony, and that's what I will be doing. Supply Squadron has moved appropriately, so now if we have a look at Manticore, we have enough capacity for 32,000 tons of it. We also have enough capacity for 32,000 tons here, so we can have quite a few ships. Now we have this patrol flotilla currently orbiting Griffin. We're going to send it over to Manticore. Make sure that active sensors are on. Active sensors on. And they're going to be able to then defend the fuel situation on the second star in case anything happens. So we have the 3rd frigate squadron here. We do need to get some ground forces moved over there. We have the 6th division at the moment. Where we currently need what? Another 5 support battalion and then the regimental headquarters. So we're going to do another 5 support battalion on the way. Thank you very much. And then we'll get another division of forces. So for every major population center, we want probably a division of garrison. And then probably increase that per like 50 million or 20 or like 25 million people. And then for like smaller listening posts and whatnot, we probably speaking want maybe like a regiment for garrison duty, or a couple SDOs. Nothing too big. Signy, we now have our full garrison force here. They're going to start digging in, of course, to the planet. The Hephaestus has finished up orders, which is fantastic news. And again, San Martin, we're racing ahead with its capacity, and those 3 frigates have now arrived to provide defensive duties to the area. We have finished up also the refueling stations. We've got all the transit stations being built, got more infrastructure being built, and we are going to have 3 more ships coming up soon. We're building some more maintenance, new maintenance vessel, and we're getting better missiles on the way as well. What is the situation in Easy Query on our stabilization efforts? 38 days. Okay. First Squadron 1 completed others. I'm not sure what that was for. 50 kilotons. I'm not sure what that was specifically going for. That's fine for now. We will just continue on. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to stop refining fuel with saurium minerals, because I'd rather have them as actual saurium than anything else. Okay, we finished up stabilization, which means we get up to the core arm. So with that up to the core arm in this system, we are going to begin colonizing. So we're going to create a new body. We're going to call this Dortmund. I know, if you know. Someone suggested German names. That's what first came to mind. So we're going to call that Dortmund, and we're going to get some ships moved over to move some supplies. So I'm going to have infrastructure move to Easy Quarry, unload onto the colony, head back to 61 Cygni, and then not 61 Cygni. Head back to Alpha Centauri, refuel, echo those orders, and then as part of that, what fight squadron are you? Your fight squadron 1. I'm going to have the Apollo stop its current orders, go back and refuel, resupply. How much supply deployment time? You're nearly done, so you're going to go with overhaul. Hephaestus, you're nearly done. You... your 3-year maintenance life left, so if we have a look at the current situation on that, you have 60 months. Go. That's fine. For now, we're going to take the Apollo off, and you are going to escort that fleet to ensure that there's no funny business. We also need to get that stabilization station out of there, so I'm going to order our tug to begin moving that if possible. Restricted ships, then go to Easy Aquari, grab that jump stabilization ship, and then bring that home. We did also lose that survey vessel, I think, if I remember. Or did we? I don't think we did. Okay, regimental headquarters, garrisons. We're gonna we got 3 more garrisons. That's another division worth of forces. And then we can ship that division off to Manticore. If Manticore's gonna be our naval roads, we can what we can do actually instead is we can send the marine forces over there, so the marines can be our primary defense of that world. Yeah, I like that idea actually. So we can move 200,000 tons. If we go to our military transport fleet squadron, we can move 200,000 tons. We're gonna go to Griffin. We're gonna load up the 1st Marine Division, take them over to Manticore, unload, load up the 2nd Marine Division. And then unload that onto Manticore as well, then go for a refuel. There we go, and I think that's what we're going to end the episode off here. So again, we're not making too much progress, but I like to keep these episodes short and concise. We are developing new platforms. We have started to really get our colonization going. We're stabilizing up north, and we're also trying to sort out our mining situation. Infrastructure is being built, and I'll see you guys in the next episode tomorrow. Again, we may want to probably increase the speed of stuff that we're doing here, but we'll see. If you got any suggestions in the comments, leave them in the below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, like, and subscribe. Goodbye.